Welcome back to the news at 10. The Vice President, Namadi Sambo, has described the Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program, SHRP, as an intervention program designed to meet specific targets in the federal government's transformation agenda. At the opening ceremony of the SHRP Stakeholders Conference in Lokoja, the federal authorities maintained that the program has kept faith with its mandate by impacting directly and positively on the lives of all Nigerians.
We are holding today seeks to achieve the following objective.
Federal lawmakers, ministers, participants, and committee members of the SHRP all converged in this hall in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital. The reason for the conference is to analyze the success, challenges, and prospects of the SHRP program in the last 3 years.
On critical infrastructure, we have worked with the Federal Ministry of Transport and the Nigerian Railway Corporation to improve our 113-year-old railway system. We have rehabilitated the Lagos-Kaduna-Kano narrow gauge line, and we have strengthened the existing bridges on Port Harcourt to Maiduguri Eastern lines.
The Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Yomi Awoni, described as appropriate the theme of the conference: 3 years of SHRP issues, challenges, and prospects.
Let me commend the SHRP committee for convening this conference, which is coming at a time when we are poised to consolidate our gains in the last 3 years of this administration.
Some SHRP chairmen from Imo, Ebonyi, and Edo states also bear their minds about the program.
From what we have had here today from all the MDAs and all the components, you can agree with me, this is the most surest program of the federal government that has touched the grassroots.
It's an opportunity to educate Nigeria further, to remind them that we have come this far, where we used to be and where we are now, and with their cooperation where we hope to be in the future.
At the end, Minister for Works Mike Onolomeme speaks on progress made so far on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and also on the bridge linking the bridge from Fadeyi area of Ikorodu Road down to Juelegba.
Most of our bridges nationwide are undergoing a lot of rehabilitation and repair works. Recently, I was in Lagos. I inspected the bond section of Eko Bridge at Ijora side, and we are working on them. The bond bridge, we are already working on them. We are working on bridges across the country.
As the stakeholders meet and deliberate on the dividend expected from the SHRP program, one thing on the mind of some Nigerians is the immediate gain. But the long-term benefit of the program should not be ignored.
Lack of adequate skills and capacity building may continue to hamper the involvement of local content in sustaining the country's extractive industry. These are the views of speakers at the third Sustainability Initiative in the Extractive Industries Conference organized by CSR in Action. Our correspondent, Loretta Chogo, reports.
Globalization.
This gathering has one major focus, and it's on the extractive industry in Nigeria. Sustaining this critical heartbeat of the economy, which is majorly the oil and gas sector, they agree must be done by encouraging local content. Speaker after speaker, though embrace this idea, say the lack of adequate skills and capacity building look to be hampering its success.
The local content perspective is not as defined. It is defined for us by majors who believe that they have to call the shot. They call the shot at home, they call the shot outside, they tell us the price. So, local content participation, accountability, transparency in this industry are all about people. The average Nigerian.
We as indigenous players, we find that the challenge we face when we make investment in training and our people are taken by guys already. But what have we done? What have we maintained? That if all of us indigenous players continue to run away from training, from making the investment, where are we going to find the pool of resources that we need to grow?
The Chief Executive Officer of Seplat's Petroleum Development Company, Austin Avuru, wants the Nigerian Extractive Industry Initiative, NATI, to be more accountable and transparent in its workings, by providing a matrix of regular figures of oil production in the country.
And my view has always been that Nigeria can, at the end of all year, publish a very simple matrix that every Nigerian can understand. Every month, what do you spend in the year? Simple. What's your spend? Capex and OPEX. What does that reduce to as spend per barrel? So let's know who is operating at $10 per barrel and who is operating at $40. Simple data. Great service for all of us.
Taking the audience through a speech titled Critical Role of the Media as Co-Implementers of Sustainable Driven Frameworks and Policies, the chairman and CEO of Channels Television said the media as a watchdog will keep preaching the gospel of proactiveness in decision-making and innovation, especially as it concerns the environment and the impact of the oil and gas sector on it. His comments are not far from those from the representative of the General Manager of the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency, LASEPA.
We have to seal over 120 wells, because today, if you go to Barra community, if you only check one of those wells, by the time you want to pull it out, you find about 98% of PMS in their wells.
And for an impactful outlook of this conference, words must be matched with actions by various authorities concerned. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
To the business of broadcasting now. The transition date from analog to digital broadcasting in Nigeria is just around the corner. Mixed feelings are trailing its visibility. That's because key players in broadcasting say content production is very important when ensuring that there are hundreds of channels in the digitization era. And while infrastructure and equipment for the transition are also important, funding appears to be the challenge for many players in the industry.
The 2014 African Broadcasters Conference, AFRICAS, has just been concluded in Abuja. And one of the discussions at the gathering is the transition from analog to digital broadcasting in Nigeria. The transition date is June 17, 2015. And although there are mixed feelings about its feasibility as a result of some lapses and challenges such as funding, major players in broadcasting are optimistic.
Once digitization starts in whatever regions of the country it rolls out, it's going to open up the airwaves to multiples of channels, much more than we have. The number we're looking at is possibly up to 500 channels per region, and that is a lot of content to fill.
I know that televisions and companies, they're having challenges one way or the other. Financing is another main problem, but apart from financing, content to be deployed is another thing. So you can't say exactly yes or no that we're ready or not, but we're in the process.
Anywhere else, companies or TV networks will commission a producer to produce content, but here you use your money to do it, and so I think that finance is the major issue.
But for the National Broadcasting Commission, the regulatory body for broadcasting in Nigeria, it is not all about money. The chairman of the commission at the conference announced plans to set up a 200 billion naira National Broadcasting Fund, a project he said will be long-term and will fine-tune broadcasting in Nigeria post-digitization.
These funds will be used to upgrade the broadcasting industry and make it a world-class competitor. It will create a lot of jobs, and there will be a lot of capacity building in various areas. All areas in the public and private sector connected with mass media are expected to benefit.
Going by federal government's date, complete digitization in Nigeria is just about 8 months away. Many Nigerians express fears that there is no time to put the infrastructure that is affordable and accessible on ground so that no section of Nigerians are cut off in the digitization era. Omelogo Nadi, Channels Television News.
And now to the arts. In support of the 18th anniversary of the Music Society of Nigeria, popularly known as MUSON, an art exhibition was organized in its honor. Tagged Coming of Age, coinciding with the theme of the festival, the exhibition is testament to the abundant talent a country is blessed with. Our review tonight shows how the synergy between the Music Society of Nigeria and the Visual Arts Society of Nigeria has blossomed.
In this room, creativity is on display. A collection of imagination painted and sculptured for a purpose, to showcase the vast talent that abound in the country. This exhibition, tagged Coming of Age, is to commemorate the 18th Festival of the Music Society of Nigeria, popularly known as Muzon. Not forgetting the source of inspiration for the artists, the curator tells a story.
The exhibition is a part of the Muzon Festival, the 18th Muzon Festival, which also has its theme as Coming of Age. So we try to marry that theme with what we're doing here. Essentially, what we've tried to do is showcase Nigerian art, the work of emerging artists, and some masters and some top artists, are included in the mix. But essentially more of emerging artists. And why we're trying to do that is because we're looking at the development of contemporary art, up to date. And contemporary art is over 100 years old today, and that's in Nigeria. And started with Aino Nobolu. His first painting the first painting he did for money was in 1902. So from 1902 to now, it's over 100 years.
The visitors here today are from an impressionable generation where appreciation needs to be cemented early. And their eagerness to learn is evident in the answers they give.
Look closely. There are several things that have been used in this.
The works here proves that the mind has an insatiable capacity to create from the vast experiences of people. Most of the artists are first-time exhibitors at the festival, and they are glad to be part of the event. They speak on their individual inspiration.
The whole concept came about establishing the uniqueness and the purpose of relationship between human beings.
The title of the painting is Blue Eyes. She has this wonderful, unique, peculiar eyes that is different from people's eyes. The iris, when you look at the iris, it's just like bluish, navy blue.
The children are all too excited to meet the talent they hope to emulate.
That I must paint this lady.
Art is viewed by people in different ways. Its main objective is to allow each beholder transport and tell a story of another time and place.
Samsung Electronics West Africa says that it has an awesome package in store for its customers. It's the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And during the launch in Lagos, the Director, Information Technology and Mobile Samsung Electronics West Africa, Mr. Emmanuel Revmates, explains that one of the distinguishing features of the phone is the metal frame around it. Our correspondent Victoria Idowu reports.
It's an event that will remain indelible in the minds of many. As Samsung launches the latest edition of its Galaxy Note family, the Galaxy Note 4. Samsung says that the new Galaxy Note 4 provides users with a unique mobile experience.
The screen itself has been dramatically improved, technically improved. It has the highest pixels per inch, which basically enhances the viewing experience. Also, at different angles, sometimes a problem with smartphones, at different angles you still get a phenomenal view. Secondly, it has a metal frame, a real metal frame, that of course, as you can see, improves the look, the aesthetics of the device, but it also gives it quite a lot of structural strength.
The device's S Pen features new innovations that reinvent and modernizes users' note-taking experience.
We continuously improve our stylus. We call it S Pen, and it brings absolutely different experience from the other smartphone.
Embracing the legacy of Samsung's Galaxy Note series, the new Galaxy Note 4 boasts a 5.7-inch quarter-high-definition resolution display that reproduces clearer and more vivid images with better viewing angles.
So there's a wide-angle feature for selfies that you can use in taking 120-degree wide images, just using the front-facing camera.
There is more in store as Samsung showcases more products.
Maybe you're listening to music or you're actually on the call and you want to increase the volume, there's a touch control right here. You can't see it.
With the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 adaptive fast charging technology, users can now get their batteries charged up from 0 to 50% capacity in just 30 minutes. Victoria Adol, reporting for Channels Television News.
Next on the news at 10, Manchester United and Chelsea settle for a 1-1 draw in the English Premier League Super Sunday clash. That's in sports news. Please join us again.